Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. We are so happy today to have all of you. Tomorrow we will be celebrating Sri Ram Navmi. So today we have a very special class by Her Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji. And before I hand over the call to her, I would just love to give her brief introduction. Of course, she doesn't need any introduction. You all know her very well. But still, it's a great opportunity and a privilege for me to introduce her. So, just a small introduction. Preethi Vilasini Mataji, she did her chemical engineering from Rama Institute of Technology, Bangalore. She did her master's in Anna University and later she studied environmental engineering at University of Houston. She got married to a wonderful Vaishnava, His Grace Srinivas Jagannath Prabhu. She got introduced to Krishna consciousness around 2009 and then she took first initiation in 2015 by His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. She got her second, that is Brahmin initiation, in 2023. She is an exemplary devotee, a great scholar, and has in depth knowledge of Shastras, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. She is an eloquent speaker, as you all know. She's been conducting Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav sessions. And the way she narrates various stories from scriptures feels like really a grandma is narrating stories. The way she narrates pastimes in her sweet voice with so much expressions and enthusiasm makes the listener envision them in front of their eyes. She is one of the main coordinators, administrator of Bhakti Sangha Japa conference group, which is an online temple, virtual temple, you can say, for many devotees. Her dedication, sincerity, and management skills, along with humble attitude, is an inspiration for many devotees and took this Japa conference call to great heights. She has served many temples. She has served in Houston, Atlanta, ISKCON of Silicon Valley, that is in Bay Area, and Chicago Temple in various capacities. Currently, she is serving in Atlanta Temple. She conducts several classes and inspires many devotees in their path of Krishna consciousness. And she is also serving as the head of department of Board of Examination courses in ISKCON of Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya, North America. So we are really fortunate to have such a wonderful speaker among all of us. And today she will be enlightening us on this wonderful topic, that is Sri Sita Ram Charam Shloka, a special Ram Navmi class. So thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. And we are looking forward to hear from you. Hare Krishna, you can please take over. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. It was too much of an introduction, but then thank you for your presence and encouragement. Mataji, can I also get co-host so that I can share screen?
Yes, Mataji, I gave you.
Thank you. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas on the call. Please bless me so that I may be able to speak a few relevant words. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So the topic for today is Sita Charama Shlok and Rama Charama Shlok. So both of them have spoken their Charam Shloks. I'll tell you soon what it means. So that will be the topic. And before we get started with this session, we'll offer prayers to Lord Sri Ramachandra, Valmiki Muni and Hanuman. कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाते परां गतिं वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसे जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसा दासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आञ्जनेयमदिपाटनालनं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमथ राक्षसान्तकम् जयत्राशतसन्त्रासध्वान्तविद्वांसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं श्रीरामनाम वरानने. So the topic is Sita Charama Shloka and Rama Charama Shloka. What is the meaning of Charama? Charama means the final, okay, the final word. It also means the ultimate word that was spoken by both Sita Devi as well as Lord Ramachandra. That is the topic today. We will analyze the context of both of these Charama Shloks and then we'll tie it together with the main principle of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, and then we'll have a lesson, a take-home lesson for us to practice and follow after we finish this particular session. So there is something called as Tatparya Nirnaya. Tatparya Nirnaya means essence of a scripture. Now, if one asks what is the essence of the Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, one always says that it is Sharanagati. Sharanagati means surrender. Surrender unto whom? Surrender unto Sri Ramachandra. So the essence of a scripture or Tatparya Nirnaya is understood by 6 marks. This is pretty standard. Even Jiva Goswami talks about this for Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So how should you analyze the scripture? You should look at the beginning. It is called as Upakrama. Then you observe the conclusion, Upasamhara. Then you see if there is a reiteration of a particular topic that is called as Abhyasa. Then Apurvata is that topic presenting something original to that particular scripture. Then there is Phala or consequence or fruit given for that particular topic. The next is Arthavada. Arthavada need not necessarily mean exaggeration. Here in this context, it means some sort of a promotion or a statement that is often promoted. Then the last one is Upapatti. Upapatti means how this topic is systematically, logically established in the scripture. So if you observe the beginning, the end, if you see if there is some topic that is reiterated, if you find that topic to be originally presented in the Ramayana, if you see that that topic is often talking about a fruit or a phala, if that topic is some sort of a promotion, there is some sort of promotion related to that topic often, and if this topic is logically established, then that topic becomes the Tatparya Nirnaya of a scripture. So what is the Tatparya Nirnaya of Ramayana? If someone asks, the answer is Sharanagati. Sharanagati means surrender unto the Lord. So a body without a skeletal system is just a bag of flesh. What holds up the body? The skeletal system. Without the skeletal system, the body cannot even stand erect. right? Like that, Sharanagati is that skeletal system of the entire Valmiki Ramayana. So everywhere, at every point, in every single kanda, we will see this concept of Sharanagati. Now, this Sharanagati is very closely tied to the topic today, which are the Charama shloks. Okay. Now, having spoken so much about Sharanagati, one may ask, so what is the definition of Sharanagati? The definition of Sharanagati is given in various places, like the Padma Puran, Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, even in the Bhagavad Gita purport of the 18th chapter, 66th verse. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a full poetry on Sharanagati. So Sharanagati is there in various places. But how is it defined? It is defined as आनुकूल्यस्य संकल्प प्रतिकूल्यस्य वर्चनम रक्षिष्यति इति विश्वासो गुप्तृत्वे वर्णम तथा आत्मनिक्षेपकार्पण्ये षड्विधा शरणागति. So the 6 aspects of surrender is, first and foremost thing, to desire only in accordance with the desire of Lord. Whatever is favorable for devotional service, whatever is pleasing to the Lord, that we will do. Reject what doesn't favor devotion. Then this is the third one is very, very important. Rakshishyati iti vishvasa. We should have complete faith that the Lord will protect me. The fourth is understanding that Krishna or Ramachandra, that Lord is my only maintainer. Okay, that is the next point. And then we see everything we possess as belonging to God. That means you're dedicating yourself. You don't think that you have something to hold on to. You understand everything belongs to God. And finally, you give up the pride. Karpanya. Karpanya means giving up pride. Sometimes there is pride in the matter of thinking that I am a surrendered soul. So we go and we surrender to the Lord, but then we become proud, thinking, oh, I have done Sharanagati. I am a surrendered soul. So you should give up that pride of even being a surrendered soul. So that is called as Karpanya. So like that, there are 6 limbs of Sharanagati. Okay, so this is the definition of Sharanagati that is given in many, many places. So keeping this definition in mind, especially a few important limbs in mind, let's go forward to understand the topic today. So you all know how the Ramayana starts. There was a great king by the name Dasharath. He didn't have sons. So he performed the great Putra Kameshti Yajna, out of which he got 4 sons. Now, when the sons were around 12 years old, Vishwamitra Muni came and asked for the elder son, who was Lord Ramachandra. He said, I want to take him to the forest because there is problem with some demons. So when Ramachandra went, along with him, Lakshmana also went. They stayed in the forest for a while with Vishwamitra, traveling to different places, and then they go to Mithila. In Mithila, there was a proposal to get Sita Devi married to Lord Ramachandra, and with the permission of both families, they get married and they return to Ayodhya. They spend about 12 years in Ayodhya, after which, when the topic of coronating Ramachandra came, at that time, because of the request, or rather because of the order of Kaikeyi, Lord Ramachandra had to go to the forest. When he was banished to the forest, at that time, Sita Devi and Lakshman followed Lord Ramachandra, and together, the 3 of them, they went to the forest. This is all the Ramayana story you all know. So I'm just telling the entire story now. So they went to the forest, and while in the forest, Sita Devi was kidnapped by Ravana. She was taken to Lanka, and eventually within Lanka, she was kept in a place by the name Ashoka Vatika or Ashokavana. So now we have Sita in Ashokavana. Meanwhile, when Sita was kidnapped, Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman, they went around searching for her. They couldn't find her. Then, taking some clues, they started walking in the southern direction. So when they walked in the southern direction, they ended up making friendship with a Vanara by the name Sugriva. And Sugriva, he promised Lord Ramachandra that he will help Lord Ram in finding Sita. So they gathered a huge Vanara army divided into 4 sections. And this Vanara army, they went in 4 directions to find Sita. The southern army was headed by Hanuman, Jambavan, and Angada. So they all went in the southern direction and they were trying to find Sita. They came almost up till the shore of the ocean, and then they were guided by a vulture by the name Sampati that Sita Devi is actually in Lanka, who's across the ocean. So the person who flew, who took flight from the Mahendragiri Parvat and went to Lanka was a Vanara by the name Hanuman. And everybody knows who Hanuman is. So Hanuman, he crossed over the ocean, he leapt over the ocean, and he went to Lanka. And after searching in many, many, many places in Lanka for Sita, finally he spots this Ashokavan where Sita is sitting. So he comes there and he sits on the branch of a Simshupa tree. It's a variety of tree. So he goes and he sits there and he's watching what is happening, waiting to catch a glimpse of Sita. He catches a glimpse of Sita also, who comes near a lotus pond. And she's continuously watched over by Rakshasis who are there in the Ashoka Vatika. So Hanuman continued to hide himself in the Simshupa tree as it was getting dark. And then the next day morning, when it was Brahma Muhurta, at that time, Ravana, who was very, very lusty, who was always thinking of Sita, came to Ashoka Vatika to get the first darshan of Sita. So as soon as he got up, he showered, he got ready, and his one and only desire was, I want to go and see Sita. So along with a huge entourage, Ravana, he came to see Sita Devi, who was in Ashoka Vatika. So he came and he tried to allure her in various ways. But Sita was not the one who would be convinced easily. And she said, Ravana, I am not to be taken by you. I am already the wife of another. At that time, Ravana, very, very angrily, he gave her a 2-month limit. He said, I give you 2 months. If you do not succumb to my desire, I will cook you for breakfast and eat you up, because Rakshasas eat human meat. So Ravana said, I will cook you for breakfast and I will eat you. Then he looked at the remaining Rakshasis who were there in Ashokavatika and he gave them a command. He told them that you have to somehow or the other speak to Sita Devi and bring her under my control. You have to scare her, you can speak sweet words, harsh words, scary words, do what it takes. But she must succumb to my desire. So he says that and he goes away. Now, after Ravana went back to the palace, at that time, all the demonesses, they started to speak to Sita. They were scaring her in various ways, but Sita would just not listen. So finally, after the torture that the demonesses were doing, they said, hey Sita, we will eat you up if you do not listen to us. So while the demonesses were torturing, it was still morning time, right? I told you Ravana came during Brahma Muhurta itself to see Sita Devi. So it was just sunrise time. And at that time, while the demonesses was scaring Sita Devi, saying, if you don't listen to us, if you don't become the wife of Ravan, we are going to eat you up, we are going to eat you up, and so on. At that time, there was one particular Rakshasi who was there in that crowd, and her name was Trijata. So this Trijata suddenly got up from and she told the demonesses, hey, stop everybody. What are you telling? You're going to eat Sita? You all eat yourselves. You're not going to eat Sita. You know what? I saw a dream. In my dream, I saw Ram and Lakshman come in a huge ivory palanquin that was decorated with many, many swans. They descended from the sky. Sita was wearing white color garments and very happily she went towards Ram. And Ram, Lakshman, Sita, they all together went towards the sun. Sita, Ram, and Lakshman from that palanquin, they went on to an elephant with 4 tusks, and that elephant started flying up into the sky. It ascended upward into the sky. They went and they touched the sun and the moon with their hand. And then again, the Pushpaka Vimana appeared there. They ascended the Pushpaka Viman, and the Pushpak Viman further went in the northern direction, which means it is something auspicious. Wearing nice, bright white clothes and moving upward in the northern direction is considered auspicious. But Trijata continued her dream. She said, in my dream, I also saw Ravana. You know how Ravana was? He was sprinkled with oil. His body was drenched with oil, and he was wearing red color flowered garlands. He was drinking oil and he was completely intoxicated. And he was also trying to go in the Pushpaka Viman, but his head was shaven. He was wearing black clothes, and looking at him, one woman was blackish woman was pulling him, wearing red garlands and covered with oil, drinking oil. He was laughing, he was dancing, he had a confused mind, his senses were agitated. And then Ravan, next he went on to a chariot that was tied with donkeys, and that chariot suddenly started moving in the southern direction, and he fell upside down from that chariot. He couldn't even sit in that chariot in his drunken state. He fell down upside down. This is what I saw in the dream. So to go in the southern direction, drenched in oil, drinking oil, and falling off from a place upside down, all these are inauspicious omens. So Trijata, when she explained the dream, she told, it is very, very clear from my dream that Sita will soon meet Lord Rama and Ravana is soon going to perish. So she tells all her friends who are the Rakshasis who are guarding Sita Devi there. She tells all of them, you all should surrender to Sita. And Sita, she will definitely be very pleased with your surrender. She's the great daughter of Janaka Maharaj. She will be very pleased with your surrender, and she's competent enough to protect us from great danger. So don't listen to Ravan, but all of you, please surrender to Sita, because I foresee that only Sita is going to be successful and not Ravan. So at that time, this is the verse that Trijata says. Pranipata prasannahi maitili janakatmaja alamesha paritarum rakshasyo mahato bhayat. But, however, though this sentence was spoken by Trijata telling Pranipata, go surrender, still the demonesses, they did not surrender at that time. However, they stopped torturing her. That's all. They just listened to what Trijata said. Trijata specifically said, go and fall at her feet and surrender. They did not surrender, but they just stopped torturing her and they walked away. They thought in their mind, whatever, if the Trijata is saying so, let it be. We will surrender to her only when it is needed. Right now, there is no need for us to go and fall at her feet. And Trijata called them and she told them, look at her, look at Sita Devi. Her left eye, her left thigh, and her left arm are trembling or twitching. This indicates that she will be fortunate. Usually, the left side of a woman, if it trembles or twitches, it is considered auspicious, while the right side for a man is considered auspicious. So, Trijata said, look at her bodily features, look at what is happening in her body. This is an indication that she's soon going to see Lord Ramachandra and she is going to be fortunate. Then Trijata called all the demonesses and showed them a tree. And she said, look up at the tree. There is a beautiful bird that is continuously chirping very, very sweetly. पक्षी च शाकानिलयं प्रविष्ट पुनः पुनश्चोत्तमशान्तवादी सुस्वागतं वाचमुदीरयाणः पुनः पुनश्च चोदयित्वा हृष्टा. That bird has come to this dwelling place. That beautiful bird has come into Ashoka Vatika and it is sitting on a branch. And again, it is speaking sweet words. It is speaking consoling words. It's saying heartily welcoming words. It is feeling happy over and over, and it is encouraging Sita. So this is what Trijata says. Actually, Trijata just saw a bird chirping happily, and she says that is a good omen. But however, our acharyas have so many meanings to this one sentence. They say this sentence is not just about a bird, it is much more than the bird. It is, of course, Trijata's obvious intention is to indicate the bird, but besides the bird, it also means Garuda has come, because Pakshi also indicates Garuda. So she's telling, oh, the Supreme Lord mounting on Garuda has come into Ashoka Vatika, and he is seated on the branch of the tree. That means Lord Ramachandra's arrival is already happening. He's coming, he's right here. Punah punah chotima santavadi. So again and again, this bird is telling nice things. It is speaking consoling words, saying Lord Ramachandra is here. And again, it is saying welcoming words as though Lord Ram has already united with Sita. That is the second meaning. The third meaning is also what you all must have guessed. It is actually Hanuman. Hanuman is none other than this bird who has flown and come into Lanka, and he's sitting there on the branch and he's waiting to speak those consoling words. He's waiting to say welcoming words that Lord Ramachandra is going to come back, come here soon, and he's going to console Sita. That is the other meaning. And the final meaning is that it is the arrival of the Guru. Now, in Sundarakanda, where this verse comes, Hanuman is taking the role of a guru. Okay, the allegory of the Sundarakanda is that Hanuman takes on the role of guru and he comes and tries to retrieve the jiva, and Sita plays the role of a jiva. Okay, that is the context of the entire Sundarakand. Now, this body that we all are in is like Lanka. The senses are none other than the Rakshasis who have one eye. You know, the description of the Rakshasis, if you read, some of the Rakshasis, they have one eye, some of them have one ear, some of them have a long belly, some of them have short bodies. So all sorts of description is given for these different Rakshasis. So these Rakshasis are like our senses. The ahankar that the jiva has is like Ravana, okay? Ravana, who's always torturing us. The Mamakar is compared to Kumbhakarna, who's the brother of Ravan. And Ravana has many sons. These are like the six vices we have: Kam, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. So like this, the jiva is stuck in the body that is surrounded by samsara. Just like how Lanka is surrounded by water, similarly, the jiva, we are all stuck in this body, which is in Lanka, that is surrounded by water, surrounded by samsara. And what all difficulties we are going through in this body, we have the six senses, that is the different senses that is tormenting us. We have this ahankar and mamakar that is not letting us surrender to Krishna. And we also have continuous vices all our life that is tormenting us. But however, the guru is represented by this bird. So what has this bird done? It has come to the tree and it is calling out the jiva. Oh jiva, you're suffering in this body. I have come with the good news. I'm going to say something very nice. The Supreme Lord is there and I am his messenger. I have come here to unite you with the Supreme Lord. He's going to come soon. You're going to soon see him and get united with him. So like that, we see the role of a guru. The guru is the way the jiva finally sees the Supreme Lord. So that is also indicated in this particular verse. Okay, so now Trijata has revealed her dream and she told the Rakshasis, surrender unto Sita Devi. But then what did the Rakshasis do? They did not surrender. Okay, so keep that in mind and let's continue with the story. So after this was over, the night fully set in, the entire day was over, then the night set in, and finally Hanuman had an opportunity to speak to Sita Devi. First, he spoke the entire Ramayana, then he revealed himself as the messenger of Lord Ramachandra. He spoke to Sita Devi, he gave the ring, he received the Chudamani, that is the token of remembrance that was given by Sita Devi, and he decided to proceed towards the mainland India. Okay, he decided to cross the ocean and go and give the Chudamani to Lord Ramachandra. But before he left, he thought he had to do some extra service. So he started destroying some portions of the Ashoka Vatika so that he could attract the attention of Ravana. He had come as a messenger, so he wanted audience with Ravan. So he tried to do a little monkey business there so that everyone's attention would be diverted to him. And finally, Ravana's son Indrajit comes there, and with the help of Indrajit, he seeks audience of Ravana. So he goes to Ravana's palace, and there he announces himself as Ramaduta, who's the messenger of Ram. And he also tells that Sita must be given back to Lord Ram. But however, Ravana does not agree. And Ravana desires to kill the messenger. That is when Ravana's brother Vibhishan, he stops Ravana. He stands up and he says, Ravan, you're not doing the right thing. He is a messenger. A messenger should be released. He should not be killed. So Vibhishan gives the right advice to Ravan, and Ravana says okay, and he punishes Hanuman by just burning his tail instead of killing him. So Hanuman's tail is burned, and with that burning tail, Hanuman decides this is also an opportunity to serve Krishna. Even this difficulty is an opportunity to serve Lord Ramachandra. And he goes and he burns down the entire Lanka, and then he crosses the ocean, and then he reaches the other side of the ocean. He reaches the shore along with the rest of the Vanaras. He tells them that Sita has been seen. He goes to where Lord Ramachandra is in the Prashravana mountain in the Kishkinda area, and he delivers the news, seen Sita. I have seen Sita. And Ramachandra is very, very happy. He gives him a warm hug. And then all of them, they proceed to the ocean shore. So Ramachandra, along with all the Vanaras, they come to the shore of the Indian Ocean. And they are stationed there, and they all make camps to be stationed there, and then decide how they are going to cross the ocean. But at that time, back in Lanka, the situation was very, very tense. Ravana had seen the strength of Hanuman, and he got the news from his messengers that Ram and the Vanara army, they are soon planning to cross the ocean. They had already reached the shore of the ocean. So Ravana, he called for a grand meeting, and he said, what should we do? Now a Vanara has entered Lanka. The Vanara burned down Lanka, and it seems Ram is also on his way. So what is our next step? How should we handle this? So at that time, all the demons, they said, oh, you're such a great king. And they began eulogizing Ravan's strength. They said, oh, Ravana, you have not been conquered by anybody. And they all raise their weapons and they say, Ravan ki jai, Ravan ki jai. So they said, nothing can happen to you. Let any army come. You, Ravan is Ravan. Who can really conquer Ravan? So when they were all praising Ravan like this, at that time, Vibhishan, with his folded palms, he calmed down the demons. He said, okay, all of you calm down. I have a question for you. How do you wish to attack that Ram who's so virtuous, who's so attentive all the time, and who has this will to conquer all of you? So how are you going to really attack him? You should know his strength. He's an enemy, means you should all be able to assess his strength before you take a decision. So he says, can you even think of how a servant of Ram has crossed the ocean? He has come and he has burned down Lanka. If he is so strong, then you can imagine how strong his master is. Secondly, the mistake is on our side. It was Ravan who made the offense of kidnapping Rama's wife from Janastan. And then once Sita Devi was kidnapped, Ram didn't keep quiet. What did he do? He killed Karadoshan and the 14,000 demons right after that when Shurpanaka made appearance. So we have seen his strength. He's extremely strong. He won't keep quiet. Yeah, and he's not somebody that you can easily conquer. A single person has killed 14,000 demons. So you can imagine how strong he is. So it is better you give away Sita to Ram Otherwise, Lanka will be doomed. In fact, we have seen many, many bad omens in Lanka since the arrival of Sita. Why? Because you have forcibly taken Sita. So, therefore, my suggestion is that don't get into this war business. Rather, just give back Sita to Ram. I am your well wisher and I will speak only for your benefit. So Ravan, he heard all this. He was not at all impressed. He didn't want to hear all this. He liked what the other demons were doing. He was very, unhappy hearing this unwanted advice that was coming from Vibhishan. And that day, the assembly was dismissed. Then the next day, Kumbhakarna was awake. So Kumbhakarna, he wakes up only once in a very, very rarely. But that particular day, he was awake and he was called to the assembly of Ravan. So Ravan explained the situation and he said, oh, I saw this lady. I was so fascinated by her. I brought her to Lanka. And now a Vanara came and he burned down Lanka. And it seems her husband is on the way. So what should I do? At that time, Kumbhakarna told his brother the same advice like how Vibhishan gave. He said, your act of kidnapping Sita was done without proper thinking. Somehow, by good fortune, this Rama didn't kill you. So, you shouldn't have taken Sita. Why did you do such a mistake? But however, my dear brother, at the end of the day, you're my brother. So, I will always be on your side. Though you have done a mistake, still, I will always support you. I am your brother, so your enemy is my enemy. So I will help in killing your enemies and I will neutralize the terrible act that was taken by you. You got a bad name because of this act. Don't worry, I am there. I will help you. I will neutralize this bad act. So I will destroy your enemies. I am Kumbhakarna. If I just walk, I can create a stampede and kill hundreds and thousands of people. That is not a problem. So here there is a stark contrast between the two brothers, just like how we see even in Mahabharata, we have two characters, Vikarna and Yuyutsu. So Vikarna actually spoke up when Draupadi was dishonored. But then when the war happened, Vikarna was still on the side of the Kauravas. But whereas Yuyutsu, he switched sides. He understood this fight is not going to yield good results. The Kauravas are not on the side of Dharma, and he switched sides and he supported the Pandavas. Again, here we see two brothers are there. Kumbhakarna was there and Vibhishan was there. Both of them had similar thoughts. This is wrong. That was their conception. They thought, no, Ravan, you're not doing the right thing. That was the advice they gave. But then Kumbhakarna said, it's okay. At the end of the day, you're my brother. So whatever you do, I will blindly support you. While we'll see what Vibhishan did. So Vibhishan, he continued to speak. He said, look, Ravan, since Sita came, so many problems are there. So it is better, it is advisable that you give Sita back to Ram. And he said, a counselor is a person who knows the strength of the enemies and the strength of his own master, and he gives advice appropriate to the interest of his master. That is a counselor. A counselor is not someone who will just say, oh, king, you're great, you're the best. That is not a counselor. A counselor or a minister will assess the strength on both sides and say what is beneficial for the king. So I am telling you what is beneficial for you. Do not get into this war. So when he was talking like that, Ravan's son, Indrajit, he started flaring up. He said, your uncle, you're such a disgrace to our family. In fact, you're not even fit to be a demon. You're not even fit to be a Rakshasa. No, Rakshasa, their family, they would react and they're very passionate. They would go out for wars. So he says, you are not at all fit to be born in the dynasty of the Rakshasas. And he says, you are an enemy to my father. You're putting on a mask of a well-wisher. You so he says that this is your nature. You're simply staying with us, but then you are not at all a true well-wisher. So at that time, Ravan, who was witnessing this conversation, he said, he was very disgusted with Ravan. He said, actually, one can stay with an enemy. One can even stay with a furious snake. One can stay with any kind of dangerous animal, but one cannot stay with an enemy who's claiming himself to be a friend. You are claiming to be my brother, but you're truly not my well-wisher. You're simply insulting me because you're envious of me. For me, weapons, fire, all these don't bring fear, but relatives like you, with an envious heart, with selfish motive, always praising the enemy, you bring me fear. So when Vibhishan heard this, he was very hurt. अब्रवीच तदा वाक्यं जातक्रोधो विभीषणः अन्तरिक्षद्गत श्रीमान् भ्रातारं राक्षसाधिपम्. Hearing these terrible harsh words from Ravan, Vibhishan, who was on the side of justice, he was always on the side of Dharma, holding his mace in hand. This is the only weapon Vibhishan took, okay? Holding mace in his hand with his mystic power, he soared high into the sky along with four other demons who were very, very loyal to him. They were the followers of Vibhishan. The minute Vibhishan started off, he just went into the sky. Immediately, these four associates of Vibhishan, they also flew up into the sky. And then Vibhishan said, "You are my brother. And that too, you're my elder brother. So you can say anything you want to me. But even if you're not doing the right thing, I have to give you respect. But I can't stay with you in adharma. I can't support your adharmic activities. Yes, I have to respect you. I cannot back answer you. I can only give you advice. But unfortunately, I am not able to hear the harsh words that you are speaking. A person who speaks unpleasant words, yet if those words are useful, such a person is a true well-wisher. You're calling me not a well-wisher, but actually I'm a true well-wisher. These words that I'm speaking to you may sound very harsh, but then it is truly beneficial to you. And being my brother, I don't want to see you die in the hands of Ram. So I was trying to give you some advice. But then you're not happy with it. You don't like me anymore. So it is better I leave. He says, guard the city with all of your Rakshasas and be happy. Let all be well with you. I am departing. I cannot support you anymore because you're not on the path of righteousness. Be a happy person without me. He says that and he leaves that place immediately. Then what did they do? The four demons, along with Vibhishan, they flew in the sky wearing these beautiful ornaments and holding this gada that they had, the mace they had, and they came through the sky. And where did they come? They came to the shore where Lord Ram's army was camped. There, outside of Sugriva, Hanuman, and Jambavan, and many other Vanaras, they were walking along the shore and they saw these four demons along with the fifth one, who was Vibhishan, coming up in the sky. So, seeing this terrible demon possessing all kinds of weapons, there was only one weapon, but how did Sugriva see? He saw all kinds of weapons and he saw Vibhishan was coming with four demons. So he immediately looked at Hanuman and he said, "Look at this demon. He's having so many weapons and he's coming along with four other demons. There is no doubt that they are coming to kill us." So he told that to Hanuman and all the Vanaras, they started discussing with each other. So there was a lot of noise. Everyone was saying, "Oh, demons have come, demons have come." And but however, Vibhishan, he had come all the way here. He did not get down. He did not get down and go and start talking to the Vanaras. He was very, very intelligent. He remained halted in the sky. Okay, being halted in the sky. The reason he didn't come there is because he knows the minute he lands, all the Vanaras will jump over him and kill him right there. So he remained halted in the sky and he started explaining his situation. So he folded his palms like that. The Gada was there. He folded his palms like that and he said, "There is a demon by the name Ravan. He's the king of all demons. He has a very, very bad conduct. And I am his younger brother, known as Vibhishan." So he introduced himself. But how did he introduce himself? He introduced himself telling his disqualification first. He said, yes, there is a great demon by the name Ravan, and I am his brother. This great demon, Ravan, he's not an ordinary person. He has done too many mistakes. He killed a bird by the name Jatayu and he took away Sita from Janastan. That lady Sita, she is being held captive and she is an Ashokavatika guarded by demonesses. I told Raman so many times, again and again, with very, very logical arguments, that Sita must be given back to Ram. But then Ravana just did not listen to me, just like how a perverted person does not accept the prescribed medicine. So Ravan did not listen to my words. So I left him because he was not on the path of righteousness. I just left him and I have come here. But why have I come here? That is the next question. Okay, I left him. But then there is a reason why I have come here. Raghavam Sharanam Gata. Inform Ram immediately. Ramachandra, who is the protector of all the worlds, that I, Vibhishan, that unfortunate brother of Ravan, has come here to take shelter of that Raghava. निवेदयत् मां क्षिप्रं राघवाय महात्मने सर्वलोकशरण्याय विभीषणम् उपस्थितम्. Nivedayat, go and inform. Whom? Inform Raghava. Raghava is actually the Lord who descended in the Raghu dynasty. That means he is very, very approachable. He has come to this earth. He may be the Supreme Lord, but then he has come to this earth and he is easily approachable. Anybody can go and talk to Raghava, who has come in this world. He is not any ordinary person just because he has come to this world in a particular Surya Vamsha lineage. He is not any ordinary person. He is Mahatma. What kind of Mahatma? Not any great person. In fact, he is the Paramatma in all living entities. And what are his qualities? Sarvaloka Sharanyaya. He is the only refuge for the people in all the three worlds. So go and tell him immediately. Shipram. Shipram means immediately. Why? Because when you surrender to the Lord, it should be done immediately. Today, if you think I have to surrender, immediately you should surrender. You should not think, okay, I'll wait for another 120 years, 25 years, then slowly I will surrender. I will think about it like the demonesses we just saw. Okay. So Vibhishan was very intelligent. He said, Shipram Raghavaya Mahatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Vibhishanam Upasthitam. I'm situated here. I'm neither in the land nor am I in the high in the sky. I'm somewhere in between. I mean, high in the sky means I'm not in Lanka nor am I in the lotus feet at the lotus feet of Rama. I'm somewhere in between. I'm stuck in between. I'm waiting here. So please go and tell Ram that I have come. So these are the words of Vibhishan. It was full of wisdom, the words that he chose. He called Lord Ramachandra Raghava. He's approachable. At the same time, he's Mahatma. At the same time, he will never reject anyone who takes his shelter. He's Sarvaloka Sharanya. So I have come to surrender to that person. Oh, Sugriva, please immediately go and let Lord Ramachandra know. Now, of course, Bhishman could have just got down and gone and met Ram and told, I come to surrender unto you. But then that was not the etiquette he chose to follow. He wanted to go through another devotee. That is also a lesson for all of us. When we surrender unto the Lord, it's not like we directly go and knock at the doors of Vaikuntha and say, I've come to surrender to you. No, we go through our spiritual master. So like that, Vibhishan, he gave his message to Sugriva. Now the question is, can anyone at any time in any condition come and surrender? Now Vibhishan, first and foremost thing, he was a demon, right? He was not born of a great family. Where did he come? He came at a sort of a weird time when people are ready for ready to get ready for a war. They wanted to cross over the ocean and then go and have a fight with Ravana and his party. He did not go clean up himself, do his Sandhya Vandan, and then come and surrender. No, the condition was also quite weird. He just left his brother and he came running to surrender. So, are there any prerequisites for surrender? So if you think about it, think about the condition of Gajendra Draupadi. Gajendra also surrendered. But what was Gajendra's condition? Gajendra was bit by a crocodile. He was not in a great condition. Draupadi, she was considered not to be in a very clean condition when she actually called out to Lord Sri Krishna. So, like this, is there any prerequisite for a person to surrender? Uh, so the answer is no. There is absolutely no prerequisite externally like time, place, circumstance, etc. for a person to surrender. Just like how we say, is there any prerequisite for chanting the holy names? No. Anybody in any condition, any circumstance can chant the holy names. So like that, anybody in any condition, in any situation can surrender. But however, you should know whom you are surrendering to. When Vibhishan came, he very clearly said, this is Raghava, this is Mahatma, he is Sarvaloka Sharanya. I am surrendering to him. He was very clear that this person will not leave my hand. He will give me shelter. So we should know whom we are surrendering to. We surrender to the Supreme Lord who's Achyuta, who's infallible, who will not let us go. So clearly, no time, place, circumstance is needed. But at least we should be aware where we are surrendering. Secondly, the internals is a little important for a person who's surrendering. The person who's surrendering should be akinchana. Akinchana means something. So akinchana means a person who has nothing to possess. He is called as na kinchana, or one who's fully convinced nothing belongs to me. That person is called as akinchana. He has the understanding everything is Krishna. He becomes a devotee of Krishna. This is all Srila Prabhupada's words. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana. Akinchana means pridelessness. Vibhishan did not have the pride that, hey, I am a great demon, I am very powerful. Okay, I'm just surrendering to Ram. No, he really felt himself akinchana. He was completely prideless. So Prabhupada says that's why Krishna's another name is Akinchana Gochara. He can be understood by Akinchana who thinks himself to be very humble and meek. This is what even Kunti Maharani says. These are all Prabhupada's words. I'm just repeating. So one condition, the externals don't matter, but the internals, one condition is that he should be akinchana. Besides being akinchana, Prabhupada says he should be ananya bhak. Ananya bhak means without deviating his attention to any other demigod or any other business. Ananyata, ananya bhak means simply concentrating only on Krishna or Lord Ramachandra. He is my only Lord. That is Ananyata, without any deviation, not going to demigods. The deviation is that sometimes we are inclined to become a devotee of some demigod just for material benefits. That is not Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti means without any profit, you become a devotee. Then you will attain the spiritual world. So there are two qualifications. One is Akinchanatvam and the second is Ananyagatitvam. I will not go to anyone else. And there is also a procedure. We go through a devotee, just like how Vibhishan went through Sugriv. He could have as well walked. No, he didn't do that. He followed the etiquette of taking recommendation of Sugriva before he meets the Lord. That's why Prabhupada says, by the grace of the spiritual master, the cloud of mercy of the personality of Godhead is brought in. And then only when the rains of Krishna consciousness fall, can the fire of material existence be extinguished. So, yes, Krishna is very merciful. He's going to rain mercy. But then we need the grace of the spiritual master. So now Sugriv, he goes running to Ram. And does he say that, okay, there's this wonderful soul by the name Vibhishan. He has come and he's ready to surrender unto you. He has come to seek your shelter. Did Sugriv go and say that? No. Sugriv went and said, our enemy has come. He belongs to Ravan's army. He's waiting to kill us in the first opportunity. These demons, they can take any form. They can appear, they can disappear. They are very strong. They are very deceitful. He is loaded with weapons and we cannot trust them at any time. So the acharyas say, why does Sugriva say that he has come with so many weapons? Is because This Sugriva actually was holding the mace and he was folding his palms. So he kept the mace in between and he was folding his palms. Actually speaking, this is the greatest weapon. This Anjali Mudra is considered the greatest weapon. So, because it can even make the Lord get defeated, because even the Lord is ready to give himself to you when you perform this Anjali Mudra. So Sugriva was not wrong. Of course, in haste, in extreme, he was very worried for Ram. In extreme haste, he went and said, he's loaded with weapons. He's come with all his weapons and he's a terrible demon. He's a member of Ravan's family. He's Ravan's own brother. He is definitely a spy. He's come here. He wants to become a member among us and then he'll create differences amidst us and he will destroy us. This is Vibhishan. He's the brother of our enemy. How can we keep trust in him? Vibhishan, along with four other demons, they are approaching here and they are telling that they want to take your refuge. They are claiming they are here to surrender unto you. No, 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 no. I think they have other intentions. Ram, you should be very careful. You're very, very compassionate. But these are our enemies, so we have to act carefully. So now when Sugriva comes and speaks like that, the intention of Sugriva is not to cut a wrong picture of this Vibhishan. Rather, Sugriva was very protective of the Lord. He was very protective out of intense love, seeking the protection of our loved ones. We may think someone else could harm our loved one. So that was the mood of Sugriva. So in a haste, he went and told Lord Ramachandra, you are very merciful, but you be careful, Vibhishan should be killed. Then Lord Ramachandra, he called all the Vanaras and he said, okay, your leader Sugriv, he has spoken very reasonable words. But then I want to hear your opinion as well. Tell me, what is your advice? What do you all feel? Do you all feel very similar to what do you all feel similar to what Sugriv feels? So he asks the rest of the Vanaras. Actually, Lord Ramachandra's face was very withered by now. Because he felt so bad. Why is Sugriva unnecessarily thinking that he's protecting me, actually speaking like this of Vibhishan? So his face had withered because the Lord doesn't like one devotee not liking another devotee. Okay, it hurts him a lot because at the end of the day, all these jivas belong to the Lord. He sees everybody equally. For him, all of them are his dear servants. So when two devotees don't get along well with each other, it hurts the Lord a lot. So his face became withered, and he asked the rest of the Vanaras, what do you all think? And at that time, the rest of them also said the same thing, but they said it in a more polished way. Angada said, okay, he has come here. He was the youngest, right? So he said, maybe we should have an examination, an entry exam, entrance examination, and check his qualities. If he's worth it, then we can take him. Then Sharaba said, okay, let's send a spy and try to understand his intentions. And Jambavan said, I am a very experienced person. I'm the oldest among everybody here. In my experience, I understand that he has come at the wrong time, in the wrong place, and a wrong circumstance. At this time, actually, this Vibhishan should be giving a shoulder to his brother. The entire Lanka is burned. He should be consoling his brother, but then he left his brother and he's come here. How can we trust him? What is the guarantee that he won't do the same thing to us? So he should be suspected. And then Mainda, he said, it's okay with sweet words. Actually, we can talk to him and we can find out what his true intentions are. So, like that, everybody was giving their opinion, but the common opinion was don't accept. Okay, that was the common opinion. But then Lord Ramachandra was trying to look at the face of Hanuman. He was hoping Hanuman will say something because Hanuman was the only person who had really gone to Lanka and he had a one-on-one face-to-face talk with Vibhishan also. Not talk, but at least he observed how Vibhishan was behaving in the assembly because Vibhishan was the one who said, do not punish a messenger, and he actually saved Hanuman. So Vibhishan knows the true intention. Sorry, Hanuman knows the true intentions of Vibhishan. So Hanuman said to Lord Ramachandra, I'll tell you something. We can easily make out whether a person is sincere or not. And I don't see any bad intention in the talk of Vibhishan. He speaks very clearly. I saw how he spoke. He was very clear. He did not hide anything. He was not nervous. He was not shivering. He was very, very clear. And I don't have any doubt in him. A deceitful person will not come so fearlessly. He will not speak so confidently. His expression was not at all bad. And that's why I don't have any doubt in him. The body language will reveal the intentions of a person. It is not possible to hide the expression of the face, even if he's trying to conceal it. By force, the true intent of the person will get revealed in some way or the other. I observed him very carefully and I see that he has no malicious intentions. Seeing your perseverance in trying to get Sita, understanding the bad conduct of Ravan, as well as hearing about your glories, he has come here purposely so that he can surrender unto you. So it is better you accept him because he is a good person. However, after hearing our words, you take the decision because you are the final judge. Now, Ramachandra, he smiled and he didn't want to hurt anybody. He is a crowd pleaser, Ram. So he took one positive point from Sugriva, one positive point from Hanuman. He put it together and he told his decision. Ram gave approval of one point of Sugriva that, yes, definitely, yes, Vibhishan is a demon. He's not a Deva, he's not a Vanara, he's not he's not some great bear. He's nobody. Yes, he's a demon. He comes from a demoniac family. And we may not be sure of his intentions. That is true. Sugriva is 100% right. But then he also approved the point made by Hanuman that he should be accepted. Even if he's a demon, even if he has malicious intentions, like Hanuman said, he should be accepted. Hanuman said he's a good man, accept him. Vibhishan said he's a bad man, reject him. Lord Ravachandra said, yes, even if he's a bad man, I will accept him. Mitra bhavena sampraptam na tyajeyam katanchana dosho yadi api tasya syat satametat agarhitam. Ramachandra said, by any means, I will not desert anyone who comes not with friendly intentions. Even if he just has a friendly appearance, also it's enough. Even if he has defect also it's okay, but he must be accepted whoever he may be. If he comes and he says, I surrender unto you according to Sharanagati Dharma, I should accept him. I don't care what his intentions are. How does it matter if this demon is good or bad? Actually, even if he's bad, he is not capable of doing any harm to me. But if someone comes and surrenders unto me, it is my prime duty to automatically accept him. And Sugriva was very unhappy with this decision. So he started emphasizing, he said, no, 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 no. He left his brother, that too under such a circumstance. And Ramachandra smiled because what did Sugriva do to his brother? Right? And now he's telling this Vibhishan, he's a traitor. He's ready to even give up on his brother. He's ready to kill his brother. What guarantee he won't do that to us? So Ramachandra said, actually, there is no brother like Bharata. Ramachandra at this time had Lakshman next to him, but still he called out Bharata. The reason is Bharat was like so surrendered to Ram that in whatever condition he kept Bharat, Bharat lived that condition. When he said, Bharat, you go back to the kingdom, he went back to the kingdom. So Bharata was one person who lived a life according to how Lord Ram wanted. So he said, there is no brother like Bharata, there is no father like Dashrath, and there is no friend like you, O Sugriva. Why does he say that there is no friend like you? Because Sugriva was so concerned for the safety of Ram, Sauhridam. He says there is no Suhrid like you, O Sugriva. So, of course, you cannot expect him to be a great brother. You're telling that Vibhishan is not a good brother. He's not staying with Ravan. Nobody in the world can be like Bharata. Nobody in the world can be like Dasharath. And nobody like in the world can be like a friend like you. It's okay, even if he has done that under this circumstance and he has come. Sugriv said, okay, okay, I think he has infiltrated. His intention is to use you, kill his brother, and then become your enemy later. What if this is a drama? What if actually Vibhishan has come since, maybe Vibhishan has come to actually become your enemy later? Or what if the entire drama is orchestrated by Ravan. Ravan is telling Vibhishan, you go and then you become a spy, you infiltrate into their camp. Then what to do? That is when Lord Ramachandra says, Pishachandanavan yakshan prithivim chaiva rakshasan anguli agrenatan hanyam ichan hariganeshwara. He says, hey Sugriva, you are Hariganeshwara. You are the Lord of all the Vanaras. If I wish, O Lord of all Vanaras, I can kill Pishachas, Yakshas, Dhanavas, Rakshasas living on this earth just with the tip of my finger, just with my fingernail. I can just kill everybody. Don't worry, Sugriv, nobody can harm us. He says this. Now, then a question will be, if you're so capable, if you just can, with the flick of your finger, you just destroy everyone, Hariganeshwara must be wondering, why did you even seek our help? We collected such a huge army and all of us are going to retrieve Sita. Actually, Lord Ramachandra's thought process here is he wanted to give Ravana a chance. Maybe if Ravana, seeing this huge army, seeing seeing the perseverance of Lord Ramachandra and the entire army, might be Ravana might think, it's okay, let me not fight. This is too much of an effort, and he might surrender. So that is the reason Lord Ramachandra is thinking in his mind, I will gather an entire army and I will go and have a big fight with Ravan. Maybe at some point he'll give up and he will surrender. And if he surrenders, I will give him protection. So that is the real intention of Lord Ramachandra. Then Lord Ramchandra, he tells the story of two pigeons. The story of two pigeons is always there in Ramayana. In some way or the other, there is a story of a pigeon. So here Lord Ramachandra, he tells the story of two pigeons. He says, once a hunter came and he shot down a female bird and the female bird died. So now the male bird was alone and lamenting in separation from the female bird. But then the same hunter, after a few months, he came back to the same tree where the male bird was sitting. That day, he did not find any animal and he was not able to get any food. It was very difficult for that hunter, and that hunter was pretty much starving. So he lit a fire and he was sitting there because it was very, very cold. But what did the male pigeon do? Understanding that the hunter had come to his house, he wanted to ensure that his guest was taken care of. He saw that the hunter was starving and he was shivering. So the male bird voluntarily fell into the fire and decided to give up its body so that the hunter could be fed. He says, an enemy who comes for protection against others, even if the enemy is oppressed or arrogant, if his request is as per dharma, he has to be protected by a person who has a disciplined mind, even if it means that the protector should abandon his life. This is the advice of all the sadhus like Khandu Rishi. They have given this advice. I will have to follow the advice. Can I, a pigeon gave shelter by giving up its life. Then the world will say, oh, what did Ramachandra do? Vibhishan went to him for surrendering himself, and Ramachandra rejected him. In this case, what happened? The female bird was killed. But in my case, Sita was not killed. Sita was taken away by Ravana. And in this case, Vibhishan is coming to take shelter. In this case, the same hunter came back to the place, and the same hunter who killed the female bird came and he was seeking shelter in that place, and the bird decided to give shelter. In my case, it's not the same Ravan who's coming and seeking shelter. Rather, Ravan's brother Vibhishan is coming and seeking shelter. And there, the bird gave up its body to give shelter, but I don't have to give up my body. The minimum I can do is accept Vibhishan. Then he speaks the Rama Charama shloka. This is where we are. I know it's time, but we'll finish soon. So he says, Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti cha yachate Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etadvratam mama. All of you must have noticed the verse is slightly different. We are used to hearing Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai Dadami Etadvratam Mama. But the original verse in Valmiki Ramayana is Abhayam Sarva Bhutebhyaha. Bhutebhyo Dadami Etadvratam Mama. No, he says, he who seeks refuge in me just once, telling me that I am yours, I will give him assurance of safety of all kinds of living beings. And this is my solemn pledge. I have taken this firm vow, O Sugriva, the chief of all monkeys. So, be it Vibhishan or even Ravan himself, I will give him assurance of safety. So, whoever it is, bring him here. So, we'll analyze this Charama Shlok. Sakrid means once. Having asked once. Sakrit eva. Eva means eka. Only him. Having surrendered to him only once. Sakrit is anavritti. Vritti means to repeat. Repetition is called as vritti. But when you surrender only once. It is done only once. When we go to a spiritual master and we surrender and we ask for Harinam Diksha, and the spiritual master is assuring us that he will take us back to Godhead or love of God is assured or whatever. When you go and surrender, surrender is not done every day. Every day you don't go seeking your spiritual master and tell him, okay, today also you give me Diksha, tomorrow also you give me Diksha. No, surrender is done only once. It is anavritti. That means done only once. That's why it's called a sakrid. Ramchandra is saying just once you have to surrender. You don't have to surrender every single day. If you're surrendering every single day, that means you don't have faith. Okay? Sakrid, eva, only unto the Lord. That you should have vishvasa that the Lord will protect. You should have the element of goptritva and karpanya and understand that eka, only the Lord will protect. So once you surrender to the Lord and only to the Lord, what should you do? Prapannaya. Prapannaya means with the mood that I am only a surrendered person. In the mind, you should think, I am a surrendered person. And this is in Chaturthi Vibhakti, only a surrendered person. You should have that feeling that I am only a surrender. Not that I will surrender, but still I'll have other thoughts in my mind. 100% inside, you should feel you are a surrendered person. And generally, surrender can be done with any goal. Generally, see, what we say is you should surrender so that you can get Krishna or get Lord Ramachandra. Surrender for to go back to Godhead. That's what we call surrender to as. But then surrender can actually be done for any cause, actually. You can even surrender, like for example, Draupadi, she surrendered so that she could get a sari. Right? Surrender can be done under any circumstance. But you should surrender once for one purpose. You should do only once. Okay. And you should do only to Krishna, and you should have the feeling that you are a prapanna, you are a surrendered soul. Tavasmi iti yachate. Now, when after he says Sakradeva prapannaya, Tavasmi iti yachate, in this part of the phrase, this section, this particular phrase talks about Visesha prapanna. Not any ordinary prapanna, not any ordinary surrender, like surrendering for sari, surrendering for saving life, not like that. Tavasmi ticha yachate, when the minute you say, I am yours, that means you're surrendering only for the highest purpose. You are understanding that the upaya and upeya, that means the means and the goal is the Lord. You go and ask verbally, I am yours. Not only are you surrendering in your mind, you're also verbally asking, Vacha, Karmana, you're folding your palms. In the mind, you're telling the Lord, I am yours. And you are also verbally asking, mind, words, and folding the palms. Vacha, Karmana, and Manasa. When you go and say, Tavasmi, and you yachate. Yachate means to beg, to beg. I am yours. Please protect me. Then the Lord says, Abhayam dadami. I will give you fearlessness. Fearlessness from what? Sarva bhutebhyaha. Now, the sarva bhutebhyaha can mean fearlessness from all other living entities or fearlessness to all living entities. It doesn't matter whether you're a demon or you're an elephant or you are a woman or a man or or a cockroach, whoever you may be, I will give you abhayam. So it is applicable both in Chaturthi and Panchami Vibhakti. When it comes to Chaturthi Vibhakti, the Lord is telling, I am giving protection to all living entities, doesn't matter who you are. When you see the same thing in Panchami Vibhakti, Bhutebhyava in Sanskrit, for those who follow Sanskrit, it can be also seen in Panchami Vibhakti. In Panchami Vibhakti, the meaning is if you have a problem with all other living entities, I will give you protection against everybody. That is, if someone is tormenting you, I will give you protection against them. Yetad vratam mama. This is a firm vrat that I have taken. This is the Lord's supreme sankalpa. So, what did we see? Sharanagati or surrender is done only once. It is done only to the Lord. You should think that you are a prapanna, you're a truly surrendered soul within in your mind. Yes, prapannaya can be for any reason, but whatever reason it may be, do it only once for that particular reason. But the best way of doing surrender is for the highest goal, to ask for the Lord. Understanding He is only my goal. And when you surrender like that, you should say, Tavasmi, I am yours. Karmana, Vacha, Manasa, with your mind, with your words, and with your hands folded, you should go and surrender to the Lord. When you do that, Lord Ramachandra is saying, Abhayam Dadami, I will give you fearlessness. I will give you fearlessness. You may be anybody. You can be a demon. You can be a tiger. Whatever you may be, I will give you abhayam. Or I will give you abhayam against any kind of living entity who is tormenting you. Both in Chaturthi and Panchami Vibhakti. And he says, Yetat vratam mama. I have taken a firm sankalpa. I've taken a vow that I will give you protection. And then Vibhishan was accepted. We are going to fast forward. There is so much in Vibhishan Sharanagati. If you start that, it's a topic by itself. So anyway, he falls at the feet of Lord Ramachandra, and he's accepted by Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Ramachandra's heart melted, and he accepts Vibhishan, and he also coronates Vibhishan. So like this, Vibhishana Sharanagati was successful. So it was a pinnacle of success. It had all elements of surrender. Okay, we have not seen Sita Charam shloka. Sita Charam shloka is more important. So let's see quickly. We have 15 minutes. I will finish it quickly. So what happened was, right after Lord Ramachandra gave Sharanagati, he gave protection to Vibhishan, and Vibhishan was accepted. He crossed the ocean, they went, they fought, they won the war. After they won the war, Ramachandra, he called Hanuman, and he told Hanuman to go and take permission from Vibhishan and go and pass on the message to Sita that the war has been won and Ram is waiting to see Sita. So Hanuman goes to Ashok Vatika, and there he sees Sita, who was frightened like a cow. She was sitting there, and Hanuman, he goes and reads the good news. He goes and tells Sita the good message that Ramachandra has arrived and he has won the battle. So hearing this, Sita was completely choked up and she was just not able to speak. And she was extremely happy, and she told Hanuman, how can I repay you? You alone can utter such wonderful words. So she praises Hanuman, and then Hanuman makes an offer. Remember the beginning of the class, we saw about the demonesses tormenting Sita. And then Trijata told, surrender, you fools, surrender unto her. And the demonesses did not surrender. Remember that scene? So now Hanuman, he had witnessed the scene. He was sitting on that Simshupa tree and he was witnessing that scene. So now Hanuman, he makes an offer. He says, oh mother, give me an order. I will kill all these demonesses. I will smash them. I will tear them down. I will torture them to death. Just give me one command. They tortured you for so many months. I will kill each one of them. So when this offer was made, Sita Devi, she said very, very sweetly, who is going to be angry with maid servants who are dependent on their master's command. They just work according to the obedience of the order of their master. How can we kill them who are just executing orders? And she speaks the story of the bear, tiger, and man. She says, once there was a hunter. Okay, this hunter, he went to the jungle and he was actually chased by a tiger. So, being very scared of the tiger, he climbed a tree. He climbed a tree and he took shelter of a tree that belonged to a bear. A bear was residing in the tree. The tiger looked at the bear and told the bear, "Push that man down. We both are animals of the jungle. But this man, he's a foreigner. Just push him down and I will feast on him." The bear said, "No, he has come to my house seeking my shelter. I will not push him." Then, after some time, the bear started sleeping after some time. Now, the tiger made an offer to the hunter. The tiger said, "You push the bear down, and I will eat up the bear, and you survive." So the man, Manusha Buddhi, right? The man thought, okay, that is a good offer. I will be saved. So let me push this bear. And he pushes the bear down. But then the bear, its natural habitat was the tree. So the bear, while he was falling off, he caught onto a branch and went back to the tree and sat there. Now the tiger said, "Look, bear, I told you in the beginning itself, push that man down. He's so ungrateful. He pushed you down at the first opportunity. So now you push him down. I will eat that man." But then the bear said, "No, I will not. He has come to my house seeking my shelter. A person who comes to me seeking shelter, I will never ever betray him." So this was the consciousness of the bear. So she says, this is Sita Charama shloka. She says, "Papanam va shubhanam va vadarnam plavangama karyam karunya maryena na kaschinna baradati." She says, kindness should be shown by a noble person, by a dharmic person, either towards a sinner or to a virtuous person, a person who is correct, who's following the right things, or even to a person who deserves to be killed or a person who deserves death. Hmm? In fact, there is nobody who never commits, who never goes without committing a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. So kindness should be shown. Papanam va shubhanam va. The person may be sinful, papam. He must have done many, many paps. So he might be sinful, or shubhanam va, or he might be a very nice person, very virtuous. Va vadarhinam. He might even be fit to be killed. O plavangama. Plavangama means an animal that jumps from one tree to the other. That is called as plavangama. Karyam karunya maryena. Even if he has to be killed, still you should show him karuna, you should show him mercy. Na kaschinna paradhyati. Who in this world has been a person who has never committed a mistake? Everybody commits mistake. So papa namva. That means she's telling, in your eyes, tvat abhiprayena papa namva. In your eyes, they have committed mistake. Shubhanam va. Mad abhiprayena. In my eyes, they have not committed mistake. They are very, very glorious. They are shubham. Shubham means auspicious. They are auspicious people. Oh, Plavangama, oh, monkey that is trying to do an undesirable act of going and messing up and killing people. Na kaschinna aparadhyati, sarvopi aparadhyati. Everybody makes mistake. Who has not done wrong? Rama has made mistakes. I have made mistakes, and even you have made mistakes. She says so. She says, what mistake I did? I went running after the deer. I chastised Lakshman. What did Ramachandra do? Listening to my order, he ran behind the deer, knowing very well it's a magical deer. And finally, Hanuman was wondering, so what mistake did I do? She says, all this while you're sitting and hearing the mistakes about others, that itself is a big mistake. So everybody does mistakes every single time. So they should be forgiven. A bear was able to forgive. Just because, in spite of the man being so terrible, the bear was able to forgive. You think I will not be able to forgive? Everybody, even if he deserves death, even if he's fit to be killed, actually, everybody should be forgiven because that is the nature of all living entities. We all commit mistakes. When Hanuman heard this, he said, "Oh, wonderful. You are, in fact, the apt wife for Lord Ramachandra, full of virtue." And then he asks a message from Sita that he can go and tell Lord Ramachandra. And he departed with the message of Sita. Sita says that I'm waiting to see him. So let him give his order and I will present myself. Now, if you take a balance and if you put Sita on one side, Lord Ramachandra with his entire entourage, with all the Vanaras, with his brothers, with his father, mother, everybody on one side, Sita will weigh more. Her qualities are so glorious. Why? Because she is the internal energy of the Lord, the most compassionate aspect of the Supreme Lord. So that is her quality. Whether you make mistakes, you don't make mistakes, even if you don't surrender. Those demonesses, see here, Ramachandra said, surrender unto me only, say only once. So many rules with Lord Ramachandra. But Sita, they didn't even surrender. It's okay, forgive. Who has not done mistakes? Everybody is full of faults. It's okay. Everybody should be accepted. It's still fine. That is Sita's nature. Who can compare to her? She gives. See, even the Lord gives protection only when we surrender, but his internal potency, she's so compassionate that she gives protection even before we surrender. The Rakshasis, they thought, okay, later we'll think about it. For that, they got protection. She's so compassionate that she is the one who recommends us to the Lord in spite of all our shortcomings, and that is her compassionate nature. So when Sita and Ram were going to the forest, at that time, Lakshmana, he comes and he surrenders to Ramachandra, asking Ram to take him. He goes and he falls at the feet of Ram. Sa bhratrus charanau ghadyam nipidya ragunandana. He goes and he holds the feet and he asks Lord Ramachandra that he wants to go with him. You know how Lakshman went and surrendered? He surrendered in the presence of Sita. He kept Sita in the front and surrendered to Ram. That was the kind of surrender he did, and it was instantly given. His desire was instantly gratified. Immediately, Ramchandra said, "Okay, come along." He asked for kainkaryam, that is for service. He went, he surrendered, and he asked for service, keeping Sita in the front. And his desire, his Sharanagati, was a grand success. Ram immediately took him to the forest. So, service was accepted. Ramachandra's desire was service. That service was accepted simply because the goddess of fortune was right there next to Lord Ram. She is the one who recommends. She immediately gave recommendation. Oh, he's saying he'll do everything, take him immediately. So she gives recommendation, and immediately Lakshman's surrender was accepted. So, from this, from both Ramacharama Shlok and Sita Charama Shlok, what do we understand? We understand that both Sita and Ram have taken firm vows. And what is the firm vows they have taken? Is to protect. Lord Ramachandra demands, he says, yeah, Sakradeva, say at least once, na? Come surrender unto me, tavas me, do yachan, yachate, I will give you protection. Sita says, Are, it doesn't matter. It's okay. You didn't surrender. Okay, you have so many faults. Still, it is okay. Who's perfect in this world? I will do the recommendation. And remember what happened in the case of the Jiva. Sita was playing the role of a Jiva when she was sitting in Ashoka Van. Who came to wake up the Jiva? It was the Guru. Remember, there was a bird sitting on a tree calling out, the first scene that we saw. So the Jiva's first awakening is through the medium of the Guru. The Guru is the one who says, Krishna is waiting, Ramachandra is waiting, come and surrender unto him. So, just like how Lakshman surrendered, keeping Sita in the front, similarly, we also surrender through the recommendation of his internal energy. But before we do that, first we listen to the call of the Guru, that bird that was chirping. We listen to the call of the Guru through the medium of the Guru, keeping the goddess of fortune or keeping the internal energy, Srimati Radharani, in the front. We surrender unto Krishna. Both Srimati Radharani and the Guru doesn't say surrender to me. They say surrender to him. You have to ultimately surrender to him. He's the Lord. But the medium of the Guru and the recommendation of the internal potency of the Lord is the thing that makes our surrender a success. So, but when we surrender, the key point is Rakshishyati iti Vishwasa. We must have firm faith He will protect. He said, Sakrit eva, only once. Just say once. When you say once, that means you have full faith that He will protect. If you're going back and doing it again and again, that means you don't have full faith in Him. That's why specifically that eva becomes so important. Sakrit becomes so important. It is only once. Okay, if we are doing it over and over, tomorrow morning again we are thinking, my problem is not solved. I don't have so much faith in Him. So should I go and remind Him again? No, Ramachandra is saying just say once with full faith. Okay, so you surrender with full faith, and Krishna will have his own plans. He is a transcendental cheater sometimes. So he has his own plan, but he will never leave us. So accept the plan, stay focused, and be protected. And we are all very, very fortunate because we have the greatest gift, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and he gives shelter without demand. Prabhupada says, Krishna, he demands, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't demand. He says, just chant one Hare Krishna and I will take care. So he has given us this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Oh Hara, engage me in the service of Krishna. Our recommendation is going through Hara. Our recommendation is going through Srimati Radharani, and the request to Krishna is engage me in your service. And how did we get the Hare Krishna mantra? We got the Hare Krishna mantra through the medium of the Guru. The Guru gave us the mantra. So similarly, we see even in this Ramayana, whatever surrender was possible, it was possible through the recommendation of the Guru first. And then the internal potency was further not seeing faults in us and telling the Lord, it's okay, he's anyhow full of faults, it's okay, still accept him. So we go via Guru, we keep Radharani in the front, and we surrender unto the Krishna. That is also the meaning of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we are all very fortunate that this process is given to us in a golden platter. And we hope that when we read scriptures like Ramayana or Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam, we can understand these secrets that are sprinkled everywhere and take full benefit of it. So with that, I'll stopped at 9. I know 1.5 hour session, but still thank you so much for your attention. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. You prepared the entire flute platter and you have presented everything to us in such a beautiful way. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, and especially highlighting the most magnanimous nature of the internal potency of the Supreme Lord, that she is always much more magnanimous than the Supreme Lord. Thank you, Mataji. It was very, very excellent session. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes, Harita Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Mataji, that was beautiful, beautiful session, Mataji. You are always good at, speaking Ramayana, Mataji, narrating the stories so beautifully. And today we got so many lessons, like you were describing about the ocean as we surrounded by all in the Maya and the materialistic world. And the bird is like Guru who will get us out of this thing. That was really beautiful, Mataji. And how how we can please Rama by surrendering to Sita Mata. That was also really very nice, Mataji. So Mataji, I had one question. You said, you were giving the example of Draupadi, like she was not in a good state when she was pulled into the assembly, but still she surrendered in that form and she was accepted. So that was also was something like, like in our ISKCON, like we can go to temple. Is that because of that or what? I was just connecting.
Sharanagati, surrender
Yeah.
does requires it. Sharanagati. You can
Okay, Sharanagati.
Gajendra, even in that terrible condition, he called out to the Lord. So like that. For we can't
Okay,
do it too far, yeah. But the idea of Sharanagati is like that.
Sharanagati. Okay, yeah. Okay, Mataji. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thanks a lot. Like, previously also, I remember once our Sukkar Krishna Prabhuji also was always telling, like, you're very good at Ramayana, and she was calling you Preethi Vilasini Mataji Ramayani. So I was just recollecting those things, Mataji.
Thank
Beautiful,
you.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dear devotees, anybody else has any questions?
Hare Krishna, Preeti, Danvat Pranam. So beautiful class on the Charma shlokas. I was just thinking, like you said rightly at the end, that from the Charma shlokas, it appears that Lord Sita, Lord Rama and Sita are so much more merciful, right? She's even merciful to, her enemies who did so much hurt to her. And but then on the other hand, we also see that Krishna is the only one who can, liberate. Even while killing the demon, they are liberated like that, right? So do you have any thoughts you want to share on that?
Comments on that. Ultimately, it depends on our Ishtadev, whom we are attracted. For me, it is Krishna only. Yes, I speak Ramayana and all that, but my Ishtadev is still Gopal. I just like him, that's all. So I think, yeah, he is Paripurnata. That Paripurnata is seen only in Krishna, like you mentioned, right? Finally, even those demons also, they finally got liberated on the hands of Krishna, like Lagu Bhagavatam Rata mentions. That Paripurnata is there in Krishna. He is actually the most merciful, actually. That is true. But what can I comment on that? That is just their nature. That's all. And but devotees of Lord Ramachandra will see him to be very, very, he's Karunamurti. For them, he is everything, and he's anyhow going to give them shelter. That's how they see, So it really depends on our mood of worship, whom we are very attracted to, and how we want to perceive that Lord. But yes, from Tattva point of view, from how acharyas have analyzed the situations, definitely Krishna is very special. Of course, he is Akila Rasamrita Murti, and he's Paripurnathama avatar. He's the most complete avatar, or you can't even call him avatar. He's the source of everything. So he's a notch, definitely, at least in our eyes, so much higher. Yes, Mataji. I don't know if it helped, but I just commented.
Then Mataji, what to speak of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Then what to speak of Sri Chaitanya?
Together. So that means still Krishna demands.
Krishna was also demanding, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not even
Demanding. And he's combined with his internal potency coming
Yeah,
together.
already in one body.
Yes, thank you. Rati Vilas, please.
Oh, it's strange. I mean, not strange. In the Ramayana, it's a theme that whenever Sita is with Ram, he cannot kill demons. He won't kill anybody. But when Sita is not there, that's when he kills. Now with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, both of them are together in one place.
So no killing of,
No killing at all.
of sinners, only killing the sins.
Only killing the sins. Very true. So nice, right?
Yes, Rati Vilas Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice glorification of Lord Rama. I have one question, Mataji. So, about surrender, we mentioned here that we just need to surrender once. We don't have to surrender over and over, otherwise, it means that there's no faith. But my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Ramapad Swami Maharaj, and I think I don't remember where I read that surrender is not a one time process. You have to surrender every moment or every day, it's a choice. So, how do we reconcile these two things? I am a little confused here.
Okay. So the mood that I am surrendered should be there all your life. Okay, it should be there all your life. When we say, I surrender unto you, when you go and tell the Lord, look, you're surrendering for a particular reason. Like, for example, you're surrendering to the spiritual master, telling that, oh, spiritual master, now I want to be accepted in the Guru Parampara. That surrender is done only once. It's not like every other day you're going and telling him, okay, now you give me beads. Now I'm surrendering. okay, I want to be an eternal, I want to be an eternal servant of the Lord. No, you're doing it only once. Similarly, when there is a situation, like for example, when Draupadi asked for sari, right? So she surrenders only once. Hey, Krishna, she called her to Krishna's names and Krishna gave. She had full faith Krishna will protect. It's not like the next day again she called Krishna, Krishna, I need a sari, give it again. No, it's not like that. The point that Maharaj is telling is 100% true, where the mood of being surrendered should be an ongoing process. Okay, you should have the mood that you are a surrendered devotee. I am nobody. Whatever my activities are, it is ultimately by the mercy of the Lord. I am not independent. Even my breathing is only happening by the mercy of the Lord. The mood of being a surrendered devotee is an ongoing process. But when you're surrendering for something, that is done. Make sense?
Yes, Mataji, very well explained. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Param Bhavani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji, thank you so much for a wonderful class. I always listen to the YouTube, live, but this is the first time I'm joining the Zoom. And Mataji, that's why I got an opportunity to ask questions. So Mataji, I love the point. Love the at last points that Sita Sharanam is you mentioned that Hanumanji was asking Mother Sita that, oh, these demons has troubled you a lot. Let me give an opportunity to, punish. And then Mother Sita, how sweetly, forgiven them. How we can also uh, think what we can learn from this lesson that forgiving if we get some troubler in our life, and then we forgive them, how we can inculcate that mood, Mata.
How we can inculcate that? We have to inculcate. How do we inculcate that mood? Yes, we have to forgive whatever it may be. At the end of the day, we understand that I'm nobody to punish, right? Who am I to punish? It is oftentimes everyone says it is between them and Krishna, right? Who are we to punish? At the end of the day, what right do I have? What authority do I have? I'm an insignificant servant. If we have that mood, we will forgive.
Thank you, Swataji.
Sorry.
Rangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Surprise! Long time, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji, Gail Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. I was having trouble unmuting. It's so nice to hear you after such a long time, and
So nice to
hearing
hear
you
you after such a long time.
and hearing you speak about, I love hearing you speak about the Ramayana. I've always told you in the past how you, enliven that story so much. But before I have two questions, but before I was wondering if I could just make a comment on the question that was just put forth about inculcating forgiveness. I was just thinking, I always think when it comes to forgiving, how unfair it is of us to always want to be forgiven. But when it comes to forgiving, we are choosy about, whom to forgive and whom not to. So it's like, if we always want to be forgiven, then we should also, want to forgive. Otherwise, it's quite unfair. So that might be just another motivation.
Very nice. Very nice.
To forgive. So there were a couple of things. One is, I was so happy when you brought up the fact that although you narrate the story of the Ramayana all the time, your Ishtadev is still Gopal, and and I was just wondering if you could. I mean, this is like, I guess maybe it's a personal question, but like, if somebody hears how you narrate Ramayana with so much Bob, I don't know what else to say, one would easily think that your Ishtadev was Sita Ram instead of, you know, um, Radha Krishna. So how would you respond to that?
Many people have asked me, many people even assumed. So many people have assumed that I am a devotee.
Oh,
Yeah, many people. They're like, oh, we have your Lord Ramachandra in our altar. And I'm like, I only don't have Lord Ramachandra in my
oh
altar.
my goodness, who would think? Who would think? Yeah.
Yeah, but I am a Gopal worshipper. I love Gopal. Yes. Even in Krishna's forms, I'm a big Gopal fan, but that's me. I love the Ramayana as a scripture. It's very rich. It has so much to offer. I really appreciate the scripture as such. And I love different characters because each of these characters, they bring so much variety, I should say, actually. And we can also relate to many of the characters in the Ramayana. It's a straightforward story, of course, but my favorite character in the Ramayana is actually Sita Devi. She's my favorite, not even Hanuman. My favorite character is Sita Devi.
Yeah, mine too. Mine
She's
too.
the most beautiful. She's so strong. She has all the great qualities, and every time I see her, I'm amazed. And I think every woman should learn so much from Sita Devi. So she has such amazing qualities, and she stands by her. She doesn't stoop down or nothing. She's so dignified from beginning to end, and at the same time she carries out her duties so perfectly. She's an embodiment of all the auspicious qualities. I just get amazed every time I read about her. So my favorite is Sita Devi.
Well, it's so nice to hear you say that because I there's this deity
Mm,
of Sita Devi in the temple of Tawaco, New Jersey,
mm, mm,
and I have to tell you that nobody has touched my heart like that particular deity. In of all the temples that I've ever seen live or through pictures, you know. And I look at her. For me, she is just the embodiment of overflowing affection for me personally. You know, I don't know how, I don't know about her affection for anybody else, but that's what I know it's probably my own emotional needs talking or projecting upon her, but it's like it, well, it used to be such a visceral experience, but then I know how material that experience was though, because like a couple of years ago, she was repainted.
mhm.
It was as if my Sita left. And
Oh.
it was literally like that because the repainted Sita was when I tell you you cannot find a trace, not even a trace of the old Sita in this repainted version. I mean that literally. But thank goodness, um, one Thanksgiving day, like 2 Thanksgiving days ago, a friend by surprise dropped off a huge picture of old Sita on my front porch. A
Haribo.
friend, it was a miracle. Let me tell you, it was such a miracle.
Wow.
And I have that hanging up where I do my japa and everything, and she's the one whom I pray to, and who inspires me while I do my chanting and everything. So it's so nice to hear you say that, um, how you feel about Sita Devi, because for me she is my Radharani. I'm I maybe I should ask you this question. Actually, it's like, I have such a strong feeling for that particular version of Sita Devi. Yeah, I feel it's a source of discomfort for me because I know I should be praying to Radharani, and I know Sita Devi, she's an expansion of Radharani, but I don't want to mix things up, so I don't know how to feel comfortable, you know, wanting Radharani to be my Ishtadev, but yet, feeling that strongly about this Sita Devi, you know? I don't know. Do you, is that too convoluted a question?
So no, but which Lord are you worshipping? Is it Krishna or Rama?
I mean, I'm always hearing about my philosophical studies are always about
Krishna.
Krishna, but and um and by the way, the way I feel about Sita Devi, and at least the old Sita Devi in Swapa, is the way I feel about Lord Gauranga in Govardhana Eco Village. For me, it's exact same mood, that I feel from both of them. So, I don't know what to really tell you.
Maybe, yeah, and don't get I think this is the thing. You are attracted to Gauranga. Gauranga is your worshipable Lord, but you like that compassion aspect of Sita Devi. So
That compassion aspect of Sita Devi is exactly the identical compassion aspect that I see in Gauranga, I get the same feeling from both. So
maybe
I don't know.
over a period of time you will know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe.
But it's nice. It's nice. It's still okay, and you're just seeing that compassion. That's so beautiful, right? That's
Yeah. Oh, I know I've monopolized so much time, but there was one last question that I had about in the very, very beginning of your talk. You talked about the 6 ways to understand Shastra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And two of them sounded very similar.
The
One was
beginning, the
that,
end, the reiteration. Yeah.
the reiteration that you said about one of them was
Glorifying passage or a
um,
promotion.
when you're putting forth, like, one is like the theme, something that's repeated often, right? And then there's something else that's also it seemed like there was also repetition about another of the 6 things, something that's put forth.
I mean, you're talking about an excessive glorification of something, glorifying a particular theme, a lot, promotion.
Promoting, but that was it, the
Yeah,
promoting.
promotion. You're just promoting that quality, that particular aspect. Like Sharanagati is promoted heavily throughout the Ramayana. But repetition means from the beginning to end of the Ramayana, in every kanda, you'll have multiple Sharanagatis that are happening, multiple instances of Sharanagati. So that is repetition. Yeah.
But is that different from promoting?
No, promotion is like more like overly emphasizing the greatness of that aspect of Sharanagati. Overly, saying, oh, Sharanagati is so great, and if you do this, that's it, like that. That is over promotion. Yeah, that's why it's called Arthavad. It's not really Arthavad. Arthavad means like going over and above and exaggerating. It's not that. It is more like promoting for the right thing, in the right mode. Okay.
Yeah, that's promoting, but that's
No, it's not. It's promoting, saying that, oh, if you do Sharanagati, you get the Lord Himself. The Lord is going to be so compassionate to you. It is the best process, like that. But when you're repeating different instances of Sharanagati, okay, Lakshman surrendered, Bharata surrendered, Kasur.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Mataji. Thank you for allowing me to indulge so much. Thank you.
thank you. Very well. Yeah.
Varangi. And yes, Mataji, as you said, it's Arthavad because Arthavad is also having two connotations, positive and negative. So one is Stuti Arthavad and one is Ninda Arthavad.
Mhm.
So this is again the Stuti Arthavad that you are referring to.
Mhm. Excellent.
Hmm.
Sita Preethi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hi Krishna Mataji, Danat Pranam. The,
Very well.
whenever I listen the Ramayana stories from you, it is always like, it's unfolding in different ways. And each character is brought to life in such a beautiful way that you just start thinking, oh, this could also be an aspect of thinking in, every character has their own qualities, which when we read, it might be that we haven't explored that part. Like every time we read Chaitanya Charitamrita also, like you always feel that, oh, I never
You never
looked
read
at
that.
this into this part, or why did this not click me in that first reading. So like whether it is like it is any character, like when you explain it, it just gives so much of different aspect to it that I really love your classes. And this the whole feeling of Ramayana has changed after listening to you, to be very very true. Like I don't know, I always had that as we talked about Mother Sita, right? I always see, initially when we were not into ISKCON or not into Parampara, I didn't know, like, okay, it was always like, why did Lord Rama did to this, and always that mundane feeling which everybody has it, and which is true if you do not read the scriptures or if you do not hear to it. But after listening, you just come to know about the second side of how things were and how things are, and why it did happen and why it should have, why it was done.
Correct.
So, and I always like Ramayana was always so, is always so, like it's always a very touchy part for me. Like,
Mhm.
that it gives you, sometimes it makes you so strong, sometimes it makes you cry. It has
Yeah.
many, many, many aspects to it. And what I feel is that Ramayana, the intricacies of Ramayana are hidden, are not known to all. Like why is what do you say, like why is Lord Rama in the way he is, or did he not care for Mother Sita? And your class on Mother Sita, like, no, I don't think I haven't have you given a class on Mother Sita in our class? Not yet, not
Yeah.
yet, right?
Given. Yeah. See
Okay,
that.
maybe yeah, maybe, and we talked about Mother Sita. I remember when we were in the so I always want to have your like a full finished class on Mother Sita.
It's there, Mataji. Yeah. Bhakti
So
Sangha.
then, yeah, yeah, yeah. So then that really changes everything of looking at Ramayana.
Mm.
And I'll tell you one thing. Like when I always had this, though I loved Ramayana, but because of all these questions and all, I always was skeptical about reading it. And when I got initiated, it was such a like you know that your Guru Maharaj knows your heart. And when my Guru Maharaj gave this name, I was in tears. Like you know that you are worshipping that form. Your worship, you have so much of love for that, that form of the Lord. But then you never express it because your ishta. First of all, it becomes hard to for you to know who is your ishta only, isn't it? But your classes really are like amazing, amazing, amazing. It's really wonderful, Mataji, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it's such a beautiful start from Ram for me, because it's morning for me, Ram morning for
Oh
me.
yeah, happy Ram Navami.
Happy Ram to you too, and thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. I really, really am grateful to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming so early in the morning. Thank you,
Oh
Mataji.
no, it had to be, but then thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hari Bol, Hari
Thank
Krishna,
you for sharing your heart, Haribo.
Thank
Hari
you,
Krishna.
Sita Preethi Mataji. Yes,
Thank you, Kirtira Sundari Mataji, for posting it, so that at least I could have that reminder. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Mataji is at your service. Yes, Jagdish Prabhu will take this last question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Priya. So, very beautiful class, Mataji. I enjoyed the details and intricacies of it. I did not know so much about the Vibhishan in detail. He was situated in the ate, they did not come down to earth before landing, all those intricacies. I did not know before the class. And I have two questions, Mataji. One question is, um, like, what is your opinion on having a different bhav towards the uh, different incarnations of, he is the same Supreme Lord, but can I have a different bhav towards Ram, and can I have a different mood towards Krishna, like in terms of relationships, like you know what I mean, like what you feel towards Ram and what you can feel towards Lord Krishna. So, what is your opinion about it, Mataji? So, does it make sense, or are you making two different relationships with the same Lord? How does it go?
So you generally we have reverence and respect to all the forms of the Lord, and there is a common servitude aspect to all the forms of the Lord. It is natural. Once you understood the identity of the Lord from Shastras, it is natural to have a common liking and a common servitude attitude towards all. But then towards one particular form of the Lord, you have some intense affection that is developed at a later stage, and then you know this process of bhakti. First there is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and then eventually it can be raganuga and so on. So that is when the true relationships are developed. But at this point in time, we may have an affinity for worshipping one form of the Lord naturally. But we have the respect and the appreciation, and we see all forms of the Lord, and we appreciate all the forms of the Lord for their characters, for how they have conducted themselves. So it is more out of reverence and understanding through Shastra. He is the Supreme Lord, and these are his glorious qualities. So we have general appreciation for all forms of not only Ram, not only Krishna, even Varaha, Narasimha. Many devotees they really enjoy reading Narasimhadev pastimes or praying to Lord Narasimhadev. So it is there for all forms of the Lord. But later, in our house, when we worship some form, we really like that form. But a true rasa relationship, all that is established at a much, much later stage, probably. Yeah.
And the second question was, like with Krishna, everybody, even the common people, could personalize the relationship with Krishna and have that different rasas. But I don't hear much about Lord Sri Ramachandra having that intimate relationship, be it the Ayodhya Vasis or be it anybody, that close relationship. Only when I hear Ramayana, the more prominent features like his father, his mother, his family, and very prominent characters, and who are well deserving to be in association with Rama, is what is my takeaway. So, is there any illustrations that you can give, or anything that he made the common citizens, or with how did the common citizens feel about Rama, and did they feel like a son or a brother, or did he make any special bond uh, apart from the heavy characters that we see in Ramayana? That's
So
my last.
Ramachandra is one person who has associated with everybody equally, meaning he was a friend to Guha. He was able to consider Sugriva as his intimate friend, who was a Vanara. He was able to have a nice, sweet relationship with Shabari, who was a tribal woman. So he didn't see any differences, and he mingled with everyone. Saushila Saulabhya Guna. The beginning of the Ramayana begins with the 16 qualities of Lord Ramachandra. Valmiki has a question: who is the one who has this complete 16 qualities? And that is when the answer begins with Gunavan. That means the person who is endowed with all good qualities. And then he mentions the 16 qualities of Lord Ram. So the first quality is Gunavan. Gunavan means one who has got Saushila Saulabhya Guna. That means he's very easily accessible. Everybody can relate to him. He's easily approachable. And sometimes the person may be great. Everybody might look at him as a hero, but he doesn't mingle with everyone in that way. Like, for example, we have some great, I'm just giving a random example. You might be hearing a great speaker. Even, everybody likes that speaker. Everybody is crazy about that speaker. But is that speaker coming and mingling with everybody in that level, coming down to their level and mingling with them openly? No, they keep their distance. So that means that person doesn't have a Saushila Saulabha Guna. But Lord Ramachandra, and there are instances how Ramachandra mingles with everybody. He's happy with the sages of Dandakaranya. He's happy with a simple woman like Shabari. He's also very nice with Guha and his boat keeping people. He's talking to the Vanaras and he's making friendship. He's telling, "You're my life" to the Vanaras. He's accepting Vibhishan as his own life and soul. So Ramachandra was very, very accessible, very easily mingling with everybody. Everybody could relate to him. Even the Ayodhya Vasis, before he goes to before he is banished to the forest, also he goes, and there are some instances of one particular person by the name Trijatta, not Trijata. Trijatta. He is a farmer person. And then he says, okay, I will throw my axe, and then to that level, I'll get that land. I'll get a land as a gift. And there are some nice instances how he goes and embraces him. He goes and embraces everybody. He's very, very easily accessible, Saulabhya and Saushilya. He comes, it's not like he always thinks, I am great, I'm superior, I am Raja, so I will not go and mingle with common people. No, he comes openly and he mingles with everyone. He even embraces everybody. He's like very easy to relate to. Actually, Ramachandra was like that. If the more we read Ramayana, the more we get insights, Mataji. So he was very easy. Only thing is, he doesn't. The Madhurya rasa is probably not something that people can develop with Lord Ramachandra, because Ramachandra's mood is not like that. Ramachandra's mood, people like Rup Goswami and everyone has written, his mood is, yes, Dasya Bhav is very easy. Then you have Dasya Sakya. He had all these Vanaras as his friends and all that. Sakya was easy. Then, of course, there was parental affection for Ram. Even now, there's beautiful Balram Mandir, the Ayodhya Mandir has young Ramachandra, right? 5-year-old Ramachandra. So Vatsalya Rasa was the only thing, is conjugal rasa was not there for Ram. But again, the sages of Dandakaranya, they desired, but they got later Krishna, because it's not possible with Ramachandra. So yes, Krishna is Akila Rasamrata Murti. You're right. Krishna is most complete that way. Ramachandra lacks that, surely accepted. But there are some people who are very attracted to Ram and they are able to see him in various ways. Maybe we are not. At least for me, I will very clearly say, for me, it's Krishna only. It's very obvious for me. But definitely, Ramachandra has multitude of wonderful qualities and he's very easily accessible. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful class.
Thank you.
Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Okay, I know it's time, right? Yeah, we have to end.
Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining.
Thank you. Yeah.
All of
Much.
happy
Yeah.
Ramadan tomorrow. Those who are joining from India, I know it's today for all of you. So, Mataji, we can end. Let's pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripasindhu cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Anant Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai, Shri Ram Navami Mahamotsav ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Har Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
All glories to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I'm ending the call. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.